Hello everyone. What I'm going to do right now is give you a brief overview of what plickers is. Essentially, as you can see here on the website, as it's stated, plickers is a powerfully simple tool that lets teachers collect real-time formative assessment data without the need for student devices. What that means is the teacher is the one with the device, while the students, as I scroll down, you can see, have these cards. And we're going to show you those cards in a little bit once we get to our lesson. The cards are what's used to give the answers. So each side has a different letter associated with it. So A, B, C, or D. And that comes into play when you're trying to answer the questions. As you can see as I scrolled back up here, this is what your smartphone would look like when trying to get the reports of the questions that are answered. So you can see the student's name and you can see which choice they selected. If C is the correct answer, you'll see that's in green, and then the other color or the other letters are in red. So there's a couple of answers wrong for both A, B, and D, but there is 73% correct. So it might mean you want to go back and check on that grammar for this question. How to use the website. What you would need is the website and a smartphone or an iPad to be able to use plickers. When you go to plickers.com, all of you have created your own sign-in, so you see this is where my name is. Then at the top here, you'll have another couple of choices. The first one we're going to click on is a library. And when you go to the library, you'll see that this is where you can create new questions. So let's create a new question here. If I just click in there, I can type in the question. I can also add an image. Down here, the choices for your questions are multiple choice or true and false. You can have as many answers as you'd like, up to 4. You don't have to have all 4. Over where the correct box is, that's where you'd click if you had a question that was correct. As I scroll down, you'll see these are some of the different questions that I've created. This is actually one with a GIF in it instead of a photo. So it's basically like an animated picture of one of my students dribbling a soccer ball. And you can see that the C is the correct answer here. And then there's different choices. So for this one, I only put 3. So there's shooting, passing, and dribbling. So it'd be either A, B, or C. This is just a static photo of Mr. Robolato performing a particular volleyball skill. And there's a couple other questions down here at the end. Once you've created your question, you just save it, and then it goes into your file. Now, the only problem with plickers is you can't group these questions into categories. So I couldn't group this into like soccer questions, and this one into volleyball, and the ones down here into dance, which is unfortunate. From there, you can go to reports, and you'll see that these are the classes that have already answered the questions. So this is one of my 5th grade classes. This is Clark's class, who has already answered these dance questions for me. As going back, you can look to see what's the correct percentage. You'll notice that there's 89% correct for this question, 94 for this one, and then 76 for the third one, which would mean I'd probably have to go back, check the third one, and see why it is that we're only getting 76% correct. Up here in the right-hand corner, when I click, you can archive or delete reports. You can do that as well for your questions and your classes. Basically, that's just the way to get it out of this to clean up the view that you would see. Anytime you archive a report, it doesn't really lose it. It just keeps it. Now, if I click on the report, I get a full description of it, so I can actually go back and see which students got the question correct, which students got it wrong, and which students weren't there or didn't answer the question. So those are the 3 reports that I have here. If I click on the classes, so this is the demo class, I have none. I can click on Clark, get rid of demo. So that's how I can narrow it by class if I needed to do that as well. For classes, to create a class, I have Mrs. Clark's class, which is one I've created. You can do an add a new class. Here you just type in the class name, select the year, and then you can also select the subject. So there are a number of lists of subjects, including health and PE, which is fantastic. And then you can also pick a color to highlight your classes to make it a little bit easier when you're looking at the reports. And then I'll just hit save to save the class. I'm going to go into Clark's list just to show you what it looks like. From here, I can enter a student's name. So these are all the students in my class. I could also click the cut, copy, and paste, and you can see from here, if you had a class list or file already done, you could just cut, copy, and paste into here, and it goes in pretty quick. From there, you have options to sort it by the number for the card they're given or alphabetically. You can swap the card numbers in. So if you see I changed 25 and 4, Emma is now 25. So pretty easy to just swap the numbers in and out. And then live view. Live view is basically what happens when you're going to use the assessment piece. You'll have it on plickers.com. This is what your students will be looking at. here's the question, and then you would have your smartphone or tablet in your hands. The students would have the cards, and after they read the question, they would hold the card up, and then you would scan it. We're going to get into that when we get to our lesson. From here, you can reveal the answer, so you can have the students show their answer, or you could hide the answer in case you don't want everyone seeing what the answers are being put up on there. From sort, you can sort by first name, which makes it a little bit easier for you if you want to keep track of it, last name, or you could sort by the card number. And that's pretty much an overview of what Plickers is. It's a great little assessment tool. It does have some things that you would hope to be added soon. They just added the picture and image to a question, so hopefully they'll be adding other stuff shortly. And now we're going to go on to our lesson.